Welcome to Ebrix Gaming and Cards. If you like the content, please like and subscribe. If there is a specific commander you would like to see, please comment below. Today, we're diving into another commander deck tech, and this time it's all about Magda, Brazen Outlaw. A viewer challenged me to build this deck with a $50 price point. I play a Magda deck quite frequently, but my version is built on a $125 budget. It's one of my favorite decks and has been optimized for consistent performance. Stick around until the end of the video, because I'll be sharing some suggestions for upgrades if you're looking to enhance the deck beyond the $50 mark. When building this deck, we'll focus on maximizing synergy with Magda's abilities. Her first ability, to give other dwarves +1 power, will give our 1-power dwarves a total of 2 power, allowing them to effectively crew vehicles with a crew cost of 2. Her treasure-generating ability, to generate treasure tokens when a dwarf becomes tapped, will be our primary focus for setting up a win. The ultimate goal is to use Magda's third ability. When we have 5 or more treasures, we'll tutor a key combo piece directly onto the battlefield, enabling us to go for a win. The combo we are trying to get is the Clock of Omens combo. With an artifact dwarf, Magda, and the clock on the battlefield, we can attempt to combo off. This combo starts by activating Clock of Omens' ability to tap 2 artifacts. As part of the activation cost, we tap an artifact dwarf and the Clock of Omens. When the ability is put on the stack, Magda's ability is triggered because a dwarf was tapped, creating a treasure token. Next, Clock of Omens' ability resolves, untapping the artifact dwarf. At this point, we can tap the artifact dwarf and the treasure token we just created to repeat the process, generating another treasure and untapping the artifact dwarf. This creates a loop, allowing us to generate infinite tapped treasure tokens. Once we have enough treasures, we can use Magda's ability to tutor our finishers directly from the library and close out the game. Since Magda only requires treasures for us to win the game, our primary focus is on generating treasures as quickly and efficiently as possible. The ideal game plan is to get a 1-drop dwarf on turn 1, followed by Magda on turn 2, and an artifact dwarf on the turn we want to win. With this setup, in most cases, we'll be positioned to attempt a win as early as turn 4. Since our strategy leans heavily on dwarves, we are including 26 dwarves in this deck. This includes both artifact dwarves and cards that allow us to turn our existing dwarves into artifacts. Our 1-drop dwarves include Bloodfire Dwarf, Dwarven Armorer, Dwarven Grunt, and Dwarven Scorcher. Dwarven Trader, Enslaved Dwarf, Liberated Dwarf, and Spark Mage round out our 8 non-artifact 1-drops. A turn 1 Universal Automaton can almost guarantee a win attempt on turn 4. For our 2-mana dwarves, we include dwarves with useful abilities. These include Axguard Cavalry, Dwarven Blast Miner, Dwarven Miner, and Fearless Liberator. Magda, the Horde Master, can turn infinite treasures into a win, while Metallic Mimic and 3-Tree Mascot are 2-mana artifact dwarves essential for the combo. Vault Robber can tap itself, creating 2 treasures in the process. For our 3-mana dwarves, they all have abilities to create extra treasures or serve as artifact dwarves for the combo. The artifact dwarves include Adaptive Automaton, Barkform Harvester, and Bloodline Pretender. For the 3-mana dwarves with abilities, we have Gimli of the Glittering Caves, Gloin Dwarf Emissary, and Plundering Barbarian. The last 3 cards are artifacts that can be used to create an artifact dwarf. Cursed Mirror, on entering the battlefield, can copy one of your dwarves. Mirror of the Forebears has a similar function, while Liquimetal Torque can turn any of your dwarves into an artifact. The next thing we will add are vehicles, so we can tap our dwarves at instant speed. The 5 vehicles in our list are Clown Car, Flywheel Racer, High-Speed Hoverbike, Smuggler's Copter, and Unlicensed Hearse. Clown Car is great because it can be played for 0 mana, while High-Speed Hoverbike can be flashed in at the end step before your turn to generate a few treasures, and then create even more on your turn to activate Magda's ability. Now that the cards for the core of our strategy are selected, we will add the lands. This brings our total list so far to 66 cards. The first 4 lands we will discuss are Buried Ruin, a recursion piece for Clock of Omens, Dwarven Mine, which on turn 4 can give you an extra dwarf, Volatile Fault, which can turn 1 mana into a treasure, and Treasure Vault. Treasure Vault is an artifact, so it can be tutored, and it can also be used to generate treasures to activate Magda. The next 2 lands, Survivor's Encampment and Holdout Settlement, can tap our dwarves. Then, we will complete the land base with 27 mountains. To finish our mana base, we will add ramp and additional ways to generate treasures. For ramp, we have Soul Ring, Simian Spirit Guide, Relic of Legends, and Springleaf Drum. Both Relic of Legends and Springleaf Drum can also help tap our dwarves to generate treasures. For additional treasure generation, we have Sticky Fingers, Strike It Rich, Hell to Pay, and Season of the Bold. Both Hell to Pay and Season of the Bold can help convert extra mana into treasures. Bottle Cap Mine can also convert mana into treasure or be used as removal on a bigger creature. Professional Facebreaker works well if an opponent doesn't have any blockers and can also be used to sacrifice tapped treasures to play cards from your library. Meanwhile, the Great Train Heist provides several options that benefit our strategy. The next thing we will add are high synergy cards that can help us finish out the game. If we can get the Clock of Omens combo, the most streamlined instant win involves fetching Maskwood Nexus, then Zorn to create infinite mana, and using that mana on Realm Scorcher Hellkite's ability to ping each opponent. If your dragon gets exiled and you're past your combat phase, so Magda, Hordemaster's ability will not work, you can tutor Academy Manufactor and clone it with Cursed Mirror or Mirror of the Forebears to draw your deck. Then, you can use Elixir of Immortality to loop a spell like Lightning Bolt for the win. If you have 5 treasures, Spine of Ishsa can be used as instant removal that cannot be countered by normal means. The last group of cards we are going to add is Interaction and Miscellaneous. With Elixir of Immortality loops, we are also adding recursion for artifacts and instants and sorceries in the form of Trash for Treasure and Pinnacle Monk. We also include targeted removal for lands with Sundering Eruption, creatures and artifacts with Abrade, any permanent with Chaos Warp, and damage to any target with Lightning Warp. Mog Salvage offers potential free artifact removal, while Pyrokinesis can provide free creature removal. Zoyoa's Justice is creature removal, but comes with random effects due to its discovery ability. The next 2 cards are staples in red, Red Elemental Blast and Pyroblast. They can counter blue spells or destroy blue permanents. For protection, we have various ways to copy spells and change the target of spells. These include Flare of Duplication, Return the Favor, Reverberate, and Untimely Malfunction. For card advantage, we have Faithless Looting and Fire Prophecy. The first 2 upgrades I would include are Roaming Throne and Portal to Phyrexia. Then, I would work on fast mana and upgrading the interaction package. Overall, Magda is able to be built on a budget due to a few key factors. First off, it is a monocolored commander, so our land base is simple. Additionally, the commander can both create mana advantage and tutor our win conditions. If you have made it this far, thank you, and please subscribe, as that is the best way to help the channel.